How you doing? Welcome to the Flip Classroom. What is the Flip Classroom? Well, let me tell you. I'm Mr. Rowe, and welcome to Rowe's Flip Classroom. All right, so traditional classroom. Most of the time, most social studies, science classes, whatever, you go into, you sit in your chair, you look up at the board, you take out your binders, your notebooks, and you start taking down notes. And you copy down what's up on the board, or you get your PowerPoint fill-ins and all that kind of stuff, and you pretty much sit there for the whole class or half the class or whatever, and you take notes. Then at the end, the teacher says, okay, here's your homework, go home, do this, read this, answer these questions, bring it back in, turn it in for a grade tomorrow. Flip Classroom is just the exact opposite. All right, so you go into my classroom, and basically what I would be giving you for homework in the past, reading, writing, essays, homework, multiple choice, all that kind of stuff. Nope, don't do that. We do that in the classroom. So if you have questions, concerns, problems, you don't understand something, whatever, I'm there to help you. You have your classmates to help you and rely on. Also, you don't go home, you forget to do it, and you just call someone and say, text me a picture of your homework, putting people into that position of where you have to cheat. Cheating's become really, really bad across disciplines, across grade levels. The idea that we just got to get it done, it doesn't matter how, and we'll just copy each other. So that avoids a little bit of that. And we actually get the work done, and you learn the stuff, and you interact in class, and that's what that's all about. All right, so Flip Classroom. In class, we do all that stuff that you do home. So how do you get all the notes? How do you get all the information? How do you get all the material? Well, what you're doing right now. All right, you will get videos at home that you will look at, that you will watch, that you will listen to. And usually they'll be somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. And you'll answer some questions as you're watching it. In a minute, I'm going to show you how to do that. You go to this site called Edpuzzle. But everybody in here gets a laptop. Everybody in here has a computer. So everybody in here can do this. Now, I understand some of you might not have good wireless connection at home. You might not be able to get on the internet very well there. It might be really super slow, or you just don't have it. So we're going to have to make a few other arrangements. And the biggest one is, well, you all have computers in school to work on, and so you might have to do my videos in school. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to commit. And I'm going to have you sign a contract that says, I promise I will watch Mr. Rowe's videos every week. So you have to. You just have to do it. It's like non-negotiable. So if you can't take it home and do it, then during a study hall or homework help room, or if worse comes to worse, you're going to be sitting in the back of my room with headphones on, doing the video from the night before as we kind of go over stuff and start our work, and you're kind of going to be disengaged from all of that. But hopefully you'll all be able to just take these home and do them. I have not had too many problems with that. What's the benefit of it? Well, the benefit of it is you're not just sitting there all class bored, tuning out, not paying attention, because, who likes to just sit there and take notes for 45 minutes? Nobody. So there's also, if you take something home and work on it, you might not understand it. You might not get it. You might not be confused to how to do it. And so now you can kind of do it in class and just ask me questions. You can do a lot more stuff with your classmates that you're in class, in school, whereas if you're at home, you're not with them, so it's hard to do projects in groups and things like that when you're not here. All right, so that's going to be very important. So Flip Classroom, it's not scary. It's not, I promise. It's pretty cool. All right, we're using technology. We're watching videos. We can slow the video down. We can back it up. All right, so if you miss something in class, oh my God, you have to raise your hand, and stop everything. And all right, in this, if there's something you missed, back it up, start it over, watch it again. You go through a week of classes and you're like, man, I really didn't understand that whole Renaissance thing. Go back and watch a video on the Renaissance. All right, go back and look at whatever videos you want from the past. Studying for tests, you can rewatch as many review videos as you want to study for that test. If you're not in class, that's another thing. If you are not in class, you don't have to worry about what did we do in class that day? What did I miss? What new information, what new material did we cover? Well, now I'm behind. Nope. All that information is there for you to peruse. All right, so you're not going to miss that. Now, what are you going to miss? You're going to miss the work we did in class. So it is still extremely important that you make it to class every day, because we are going to be doing that work that you normally would have done for homework. I'm going to try to post as much of that stuff online as I can. So if you are out, it'll be there for you. But at the very worst, You can do it when you get back. You might have to have a little homework. But that's really, besides Castle Learnings, the only other homework you're going to have is watching these videos and anything that you didn't finish in class. And I almost never give too much work where it's like, oh, everyone's got to take it home. There might be one or two stragglers that might have to, but for the most part, no, it's good. All right, so we're going to be using the technology that school gives us. We're going to be using our laptops a lot, phones, outside of class, not inside of class. But we're going to try to use as much of this as we can. And the flipped classroom is a big part of that. All right, like I said, I'm going to show you a little bit about Edpuzzle, and then we're going to wrap things up. All right, here is Edpuzzle. All right, so you have the space where you're going to have videos. Yours is going to look a little bit like this. Let me show you. I got a practice one here. So when you come in, you will see these videos here. You will not see 34 different videos. You'll see like maybe 4 for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll have a video to watch. Sometimes it's only 3 days. And you'll see the videos and when they're due and when they were assigned and when they're due. And you'll just click on one. All right, so let's click on, oh, I don't know. Here we go. Chapter 6 is a boring one. All right, so you click on it. You'll click to watch it.
Students, welcome back to Rome, Chapter 6. This
Here
is
it
Section
is.
3, Rome
All right,
Achievement.
and you'll watch this whole thing, and you can't skip because it won't let you skip ahead. These little things right here, these green things, these are where your questions are at. All right, so if I go to my content, if I go into something that I did, let's say we'll do Chapter 11, Section 4 here. I'll just do this one. All right, so if you get to one of these questions, it's going to pause. All right, you're going to have to answer the question. Now, you're not going to be able to skip ahead like I did this because I got the teacher mode on. You're going to skip ahead. You're going to answer the question. All right, it says Muhammad is. All right, out of all these, I think he's the founder of Islam, so I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click Submit, and it's going to tell me if I was right or wrong. All right, if I'm wrong, it'll just tell me I'm wrong, it'll mark it wrong, and we'll move on. If you're not sure, if you get to it and you're like, oh my goodness, I was zoning out, and you have to back it up a little bit, okay, you can back it up. You just can't go forward, but you can always back it up a little bit. We got to be paying attention because it's not like I always just ask the question like right before it's in there. All right, I could ask the question right here, but the question doesn't pop up till here. So I could answer the question. Let me say that. I could be like, you know, for whatever I could have had the Muhammad thing way at the very beginning and then talked all about Muhammad, but then you had to know that he was the founder or whatever. So it might not be right before where the question is. Sometimes it is. All right, usually it's a multiple choice. Sometimes it's true and false, and every once in a while you'll have to do a fill-in. I can also put in little like note tabs in there to say, oh, as a reminder, this or that, or hey, I messed up in this video, this is what it actually should be, or sometimes I don't even show videos of myself. It might be another teacher that teaches something, and I may have come across something where I'm like, well, that doesn't sound right, and then I might put a little note in there like, oh, by the way, this is what the right thing is, or whatever. But so you'll have to answer these questions, and this year I'm actually going to put in another little twist to it. I'm going to have you guys have a graphic organizer. All right, and you'll put in there Chapter 11, Section 1, and what the main topics are, topics are, and then you'll put in like a little subtopic, important names, dates, probably not dates, but important people, cultures, where it's talking about, maybe religion, something like that, the key main ideas. So it'll keep it all straight in your head, and then we'll look and go over the graphic organizer the next day in class. So if there's something you didn't understand from the video or want to watch in addition to or listen to or get explained to you, you know, maybe we'll even pop the video in and say, okay, what part of it didn't you understand? And we'll go back and look at it and have the class talk about it. But the whole point of doing this is so that you can learn at your own pace. And again, if you come back in the next day and you were lost, you didn't get something, that's the time when we can kind of go over some stuff. I might go around the room and say, what did you have on your graphic organizer? How was yours different? What did you say the main idea was? Okay, maybe have a little, you know, couple minutes of, okay, what was the Quran? What did it say Muslims were? Or who Allah is? Or whatever, to make sure that you got the main facts and main ideas. Maybe I'll send home on the vocabulary graphic organizer. and I'll list some vocab words. And as you're watching the video, you fill in what the vocab words are, and that stuff will go into your binder. All right, so there's got to be some active learning too. You can't just sit back and tune out and wait for the questions to come up and then back it up. You kind of got to be following along so you can fill in the graphic organizers too, and hopefully that helps you out a little bit. All right, so that is Edpuzzle. That's what this site is, and so we're going to be using that for all the videos that we watch pretty much. And sometimes it's going to be me, sometimes it's going to be a different teacher. Sometimes you'll see my face, sometimes you won't. It'll just be a voiceover. Sometimes it'll be a PowerPoint, sometimes it'll be other things. If you guys come across something where you think this would be cool to use, let me know. I'll check it out. You know, other students have recommended teachers online before. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're meh, but we'll figure it out. This is going to be a fun year, all right? It's going to be a lot of different stuff, hopefully exciting. Hopefully, you know, some new stuff that you haven't done before. And those of you that have done flipped classrooms before, it should be pretty easy to get connected to. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being your teacher this year and helping guide you along and using history to teach you guys how to learn and appreciate what's going on in the world today. And hopefully through that, you know, you become a more developed, better person all around. All right, thanks. See you in class.